So Easter's coming up and I'm going to share with you guys something that I have done several years in the past to help me make some extra fast cash around Easter time. It's so easy to do. Anybody can do it. So this is what we call Egg My Yard. So some of you may have been familiar with it. Some of you maybe have never thought to do it yourself. And what this is if you're unfamiliar, you don't take real eggs and like go egg somebody's yard. Why would anybody pay somebody to do that to their own house? But what this is especially for parents of small children or parents who work and they just maybe don't have the time to do it themselves, or maybe they have children who are just all up in their business all the time and would totally like catch on if they did it. You fill Easter eggs and you put them out in people's yards overnight the morning before Easter. So when their children wake up, they are so surprised. They think the Easter bunny came and laid out Easter eggs for them to have an Easter egg hunt that morning. So I have done this maybe 3 or 4 times now in the past several years. And I have found that it's pretty fun to do for me as well. So you can do one of several different ways. You can get the eggs and fill them yourself, or you can buy pre-filled eggs and you can offer different types of eggs. So you could put a theme in it, like if you wanted adults only egg hunt, or if you want like toddlers only, just because some of the younger kids might not be able to eat some of the types of candies that the older kids can. Those types of things are something you might want to consider. Also, the amount of time that you have to put into it. If you have a little bit more time and you don't mind filling the eggs yourself, then go ahead and go that route. Last year when I did it, I bought pre-filled eggs because I was able to find them at a really good price and it saved me a lot of time. You can also do what I typically like to do in my egg batches is I do half and half. I'll do half like toys or little trinkets and the other half candy. And that's a fun route for the parents as well because they're not getting their children hyped up on just candy and all this sugar. And the kids like the little trinkets and stuff like that as well. It's fun little things for them. So what you do is, several weeks before the holiday comes, you advertise it. I found that advertising on Facebook, social media works best. We'll talk about marketing here shortly. But you advertise it and you sell really kind of spots or yards, however many yards, and the customers will pay, and then the night of you will take however many eggs that they had paid for and you go put them out in their yard the night before Easter. There have been some situations where somebody was maybe celebrating Easter a different day, or they were having like a big family get together for Easter a couple days beforehand, and they have asked me if I could put them out then. And whether or not you accommodate requests like that is totally up to you. You don't have to, but you totally can if you don't mind doing that. Then there is the instance of what to do if it's raining or there's really bad weather the night before. You don't want to place these eggs out and have them get ruined or washed away or anything like that. So in the instance that there is going to be foul weather, what I do end up doing is just placing the eggs all in bags and putting them on the porch of the family. I let them know ahead of time, hey, there's going to be inclement weather, so I'm just going to put the eggs here. And then when it stops raining, if somebody in the family wants to maybe sneak out and place them themselves, or they can take them inside their home and place them inside the home so that the kids aren't going out in the bad weather looking for those eggs. I typically do 3 or 4 different options as far as the amount of eggs go. I will typically do 25, 35, 45, or 55 eggs, but you can change the amount up however you want or how many you think that families might tend to choose. And then you charge by the price per egg, and it really depends on your cost of goods, which is your cost, how much you paid to get all of the eggs and stuff like that. And you want to add some money on top so that you're making a profit to account for the mileage in your car that you're driving and the time that it takes you to put the eggs out. I do highly recommend the night that you are putting eggs out, have somebody come with you. especially just because you're going to be going out, it's going to be nighttime, and you're going to be alone. Like, you don't want to be alone during that, but also having somebody with you makes it go faster, especially depending on how many houses sign up for you. If you have 30 houses sign up, that's a lot of houses to get through in one night. You're going to feel like Santa Claus. So the more people that you have with you, the better, the quicker it can get done. Or even if you have a lot of houses sign up, you could have multiple people putting out the eggs, and you know, you have this person take this neighborhood, this person take that neighborhood, or this person take the north side of the city and this person take the south side of the city. Also, depending how much work you want to do, will be like how many cities around that you open up. So I typically would do my city and the little smaller cities around me, but I don't want to drive that far to do it, especially because, again, you are doing this all in one night, and at some point you want to get some sleep. So, and you do it after sundown because you don't want the children to see you outside putting them out. I have gone to do a couple of houses, and I pull up to the house, and like, you can see that everybody's still awake and the curtains are wide open, and I always have contact information saved for the houses that I'm going to, and in instances like that, I will like text or try and call the family and let them know, hey, do you maybe want to try closing your curtains so that they don't see, just, you know, you want to do the best you can as far as customer service and make sure that the children have the best experience in the morning as possible. So the way that I organize and do this prior to the night of, to make it a smoother process, is I keep track of all of my customers that are ordering sets of eggs. I mark down in a notebook their address, their name, their contact number. I have them give me some sort of general descriptor, because you will be finding these homes in the dark, and sometimes it can be kind of hard. So I have them give me some type of easy way to find their house in the evening. If it's, you know, 3 houses from the stop sign, or big white truck in the driveway, or something like that. I mark the descriptor down as well. I mark down how many eggs that they want, and if they want specific instructions like just put it at the porch or deliver it on, you know, this day, I mark that down as well. So I keep that with me as I'm getting orders and collecting payments. I do collect payments right away to reserve their spot, and that also helps me get the eggs and everything that I would need. And so when it comes closer to the day of and I have all of the materials and everything, I just take regular shopping bags and I divide them up by the amount of eggs that the customer requested. So if they want 25 eggs, I put 25 eggs in this bag, and I will either write their name on the bag or the amount of eggs that they want, and say, you know, I have 5 bags of 25 eggs and 6 bags of 30 eggs. Then I am pulling up to Jamie's house and I see that Jamie ordered 25 eggs, so I'll grab a bag that has 25 and then I'll run and put them out. It's a little bit easier that way, so that way everything's prepped. You're not, you know, pulling out 25 eggs from a big old box in your car in the middle of the night at each house you go to. I do not go into super detail hiding these eggs, because 1, we've got to be quick. 2, it's dark. I don't want to break an ankle. So, and I don't know the ages always of the children looking for the eggs. So I try to put some in super obvious spots, and there's a lot of eggs a lot of times. So finding 25, 30, 60 hiding spots in somebody's yard in like 5 minutes can be difficult. So I put some in the spots where it's easily hidden. If they have flower pots, if they have maybe stairs you can kind of push them under, or racks you can hide them behind, I do what I can for those, and then I put the rest, just, you know, spacing them evenly across the grass. I have had a couple of people ask me to put them in backyards, and I try to avoid that if possible. A lot of times they'll have, you know, pets and they don't pick up the pet poop in the backyard, or it's fenced in, or it just makes me feel a little bit more uncomfortable. So I try to leave it to front yards only, unless they don't have a fence or something like that. But if they are asking you to put it in their backyard, maybe verify, do you have pets? If so, can you make sure that the poop is picked up so that I'm not stepping any in the dark and stuff like that. I have delivered to a house where I can't remember if it was the house or if it was the neighbor's house, but they had a dog and it was outside when I was delivering them, and it was not in a fenced yard. It was like hooked up on a chain in a non-fenced backyard, and it was going absolutely crazy, barking so loud. It was a big dog, and I had no idea if it was friendly or not. I had no idea how far its leash went, so that was kind of hectic. So those are types of things that you want to be mindful of, and you can nicely just ask the customer about it. If you have dogs, can you make sure that they're put up? You know, give them an estimate of time that you might be there, just so that they can keep an eye out. I had one where I pulled up to a customer's home and they had just got back from grocery shopping, and I was at their home and the kids were still awake and everything, so I just stayed in my car. I chatted with the mom real quick and let her know who I was, because I don't always know these people. A lot of them are strangers, you know, people I've never met, and so they just said, okay, give me a minute, let my husband put the kids to bed, take them into their room, and then you can come out. And so I do stuff like that too, because again, it's all about just the magic for the children the next morning. So now I want to talk about some different ways to market this and what I've done in the past that has worked. I have never paid for marketing for this, but you can if you want to like sponsor a Facebook ad. I wouldn't do that if you were just doing it by yourself, because you might get a lot of clients that you might not be able to handle by yourself in one night. But if you have like a group of people that are able to help you, or if you're doing this, I've seen a lot of people do this for fundraisers or something like that, for organizations. If you're doing something like that and you have you know, a bigger group of people, you might be able to sponsor Facebook ads just to get a wider audience. But I do post, like I'll create a flyer, a digital flyer, and I will post it on my own Facebook page, and I will have, my friends and family will share it. I will post it in the local yard sale pages, or if my town has its own like town Facebook page, I'll post in that. Anything like that, you know, where they allow promotions, I will post that in just my local areas. So a lot of it's word of mouth and just sharing on the local groups. In the past, I have also printed like my flyer up, just printed it kind of like small, maybe like 5x7, 4x6, and put flyers out in local stores if they let me, and so that the people can take it, or they can even screenshot it to have your phone number. And so they can either message you on Facebook or they can text you. You could probably even create a QR code for your event and have people, you know, take a picture of it, or, you know, be able to link it back to your phone number that way as well. And so those are the ways that I market it. Pretty simple. Again, this is just for one season. You're really only involved with this for a couple of weeks, and then once Easter's over, it's done until the next year if you want to continue doing it. Now, in my area, when I first did it, there was like no competition doing it. I think one other organization was doing it for a fundraiser. It's getting a little bit more prevalent in my area now. And so, you know, obviously if there's more competition in your area, I thought that the earlier that I started promoting it, that the better it would be. And I really didn't have necessarily super great results with that, because I think a lot of people were like last minute people, and they're like, oh no, I don't have anything for eggs planned, let's go ahead and reach out. And so keep in mind that you might also have, you know, a lot of last minute people trying to book, and you know, if you don't have the eggs on hand last minute, that might be a little bit difficult. But I will post in the comments, in the description, some places that you might want to get some eggs, some pre-filled eggs. Something that I did just make sure costs were really low when I was doing them separately, like individually and packing them myself, as well as doing them pre-filled, is trying to come up with a cost per egg. So if you're buying them yourself and you're filling it yourself, you want a cost per egg and a cost per candies that were going in it, and then you total them up to get how many cost per order it is. And obviously, as any type of business owner, keeping costs low is how you're going to maximize your profit. So you just want to make sure that the amount of profit that you're making off of each order after you calculate that is going to be enough to make you feel like it is worth your time and money. Again, it doesn't take a whole lot of time. It takes some time packaging up the bags, but and then a couple of hours the night of Easter putting them out. But other than that, it's a very quick, easy way to make some seasonal cash. My son went and put them out with me last year and we had a blast. He was so excited helping to do it. He didn't even realize that what he was doing was something the Easter Bunny typically does. So I will also share a couple flyer ideas if I can post it in the comments. If not, I will post it somewhere so you guys can get some flyer ideas, some pricing ideas as well. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them below and I will answer them. And if you guys didn't know, this year Easter is March 31st, so it's coming early this year. That's all I have for today. Thanks guys. Bye.